Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Liz Jackson-Simpson, CEO of Success Centers San Francisco. And we've been around 35 years. We were started by Superior Court judges who saw the need to enhance and provide alternative education and alternative vocational services for initially young men who were returning to community from detention. But today we've expanded to serve all marginalized communities. We're in 5 detention facilities, namely juvenile facilities still. We have 5 community sites. We're in 3 counties. We have 2 sites in San Francisco, one in San Mateo County and one in Oakland. And we connect individuals through 6 different industry clusters: health, hospitality, construction, tech, arts, and cannabis. We have a school that graduates 80% of all the Cortland County school day youth, get them back into school. And we provide training in all those spaces and all those industries. I'm really proud to say that in my 35 years, we've been able to shut down 1 detention facility. Never thought I'd see that in my lifetime. You know, I've always seen where it's been overcrowded in most of the facilities that we've been engaged in, and they shut down Lock Cabin Ranch for boys this last June. So I'm really proud to announce and say that, but the work ain't over. We still got lots to do, and I'd like to think that it was a number of our interventions and the perseverance that I'm so blessed to work with very smart, talented, dedicated folks. Thank you, Success Center, for showing up. That enabled us to get the work done. Well, no day is the same. We have just completed 4 mergers in the last 6 months. Wow! And so we are, we have people that have come from different cultures of organizations. And, again, as Taylor described, I'm an engineer by trade. And I see us very much as being trailblazers. And all of those organizations came to us and asked us if we would take them in and take them on, because we've had this incredible trajectory over the past 5 years since I've been CEO. And it's just as difficult as it is for citizens to be able to stay in the Bay Area in this region. It's equally as difficult for we nonprofits to be able to sustain ourselves, especially in this kind of political climate. And so every day is just trying to figure out how do we work smarter and be able to support the incredible needs of the constituents that come through our doors. It's very, our folks are so passionate about the work. Burnout is real. And just, again, trying to figure out how we work smarter is a daily task for me. I'm up at 4 o'clock every morning just trying to figure out how we do this better, so that, and, exponentially, because to meet the need, because I got good people that I got to keep and sustain. And I don't need them being burned out and up at 4 o'clock like me, not to say that's a good example. But I need them to be healthy, and I need them to stay strong and innovative, because we got good stuff going on. So my day really is trying to figure out how to be creative and innovative, and just being this consummate cheerleader for our team that's grown 6-fold in the past 6 months. I think it's like anywhere else, we always got to be 10 times better, faster to compete. But then at the same time, I think the powers that be need us, because most of the work is focused on the most marginalized communities, and who's us. And so they need us to advise and to provide the outcomes that they seek. But, you oftentimes have to get in there and demand, the resources that you need to do the hard work. And so, you have to be unapologetically fearless That's why we pride ourselves on being so innovative in the work that we do, because we owe it to our constituents. And they look to us to be their advocates and to get in there and put up the good fight. It's not easy. This week, as one of my sisters said earlier, this is not for the meek. You gotta be, you gotta be fearless in this work and be willing to do this whether you get paid or not. Because this is a labor of love. This is God's work. Regardless of what sector you're in the nonprofit arena, and you got to really have the passion for it. And so yeah. I think we all know what the challenge is. We wake up every morning looking at ourselves in the mirror and realize what the fight is going to be like, just being who we are. Intelligent, bright, sharp, outgoing individuals. We're going to run up against adversity. And then when we're advocating for folks that are struggling, have been traumatized, who are seen as second-class citizens, it's tough. And it's gravely underfunded, and our folks are not recognized, and so it's not for the meek. This work is not for the meek. Know what you do well, as opposed to being everything for everybody. You just diffuse your product, and that's not good. So you have to partner. Nobody, not even big systems, can do this by themselves. That's why they hire us to help them to support the support the constituents they're supposed to be serving. So and I can spend your money better than I can spend mine, faster than I can spend mine. I'm going to use my money is going to be the last money I spend. We're going to try to figure out who does all these different things that our constituents need, and go to them and say, we can help you by recruiting and outreaching the folks that we know you're supposed to serve. And so it helps to know what resources are available, how to ensure your folks are eligible to make access to those services, help them to get access to those services and spend your money less. And so we partner all the time. We do construction training. You don't want me teaching you how to do construction. So we find professionals in that field that can teach your constituents how to build houses. And so we partner with the labor trades. And what that also does is it ensures that you are greasing the pathway for your constituents to get those jobs, to get to the next level after they leave you, and to start teaching them how to form these relationships and building their own personal networks, so that hopefully one day we're all working ourselves out of a business, but our constituents will know how to survive and thrive on their own. So again, these partnerships are essential. Know your mission and stay in your lane. We were 99.9% government funded, which is important. I think it's important for you to have a very striated, diverse funding stream going into your organization. Because as we know, the economy ebbs and flows, and we had judges that were all on our board. So the first thing I had to do was kick the judges off because they can't fundraise. And so now all of our board members it's part of their job description that you must provide a significant personal gift, whatever that means to you. But everybody has to give, because we can't be put more into our cause than they do, and them being considered that they love us and love the work. Well, show us, demonstrate it, because we can't live without money. Lights must go on. But you can't be all heavily government funded either. Yeah. And so I have this 80-20 rule. 80% could be government funding, because the good thing about government funding is it's multiple years, and it's usually significant more, allow you to operate in some instances, right? So it's usually hundreds of thousands of dollars that allow us to do what we need. Foundation dollars are usually a little less, and sometimes just for 1, 2, maybe 3 years. But those require you having solid relationships, and it takes a lot of work of an exec's time to formulate those relationships, massage those, hey, how you doing, Bree? Girl, how's the family? When I got folks that gotta be served, right? And the donors, individual donors are even worse than that, right? And so it's really time, you gotta do it though as an exec, and again, that's why it's important to have a solid team around you, because then you got these external factors and then people, donors, even your government funders that you have to have solid relationships with to keep that money going. So on my board, 3 W's, to be on my board, you gotta bring work, you gotta be willing to roll up your sleeves and work. In addition to that significant gift, you got to have wisdom. You got to help us to be able to strategize and stay on our North Star, our mission, and get where we need to be. And you got to also have wealth. You need people with deep pockets that in those hard times can pick up the phone and call somebody and write that $10, $15, $20, $50,000 check. You know, so you need all 3 of those things in order to really sustain and keep your organization moving forward. I think the nonprofit world makes up about 8% of the world of our nation's economy. So it's very competitive. Although there are a lot of resources out there, it's highly competitive. And you know, so you gotta, like I was saying in my, Taylor said in my intro, you gotta have solid systems in place. You gotta prove you can do what you can do. You gotta be able to write the grants, but also be effective in your work and have proven effectiveness. You also got to have support from your community. Community, not just me saying we're great, Success Center is the best organization in the world, but community partners got to say, yeah, your constituents in particular. I went to Success Center, I got a good job, and they're like family to me, and they help me to do this, that, and the other. So it's very competitive. Not only on the local level, but on the national level and within foundations. So, yeah, but you gotta have good systems in place to be able to tell your story. And you gotta be accountable for and use your dollars. You can't just use your money for what you wanna use it for. You know, there's donors tell you what you can use your dollars for. You got to keep up with your taxes and all your filings. It's a lot of work. It's a business. And you got to be about the business of nonprofit management. Well, I think it kind of depends on the size of your organization and that individual's personality. So when I first came back to Success Centers, I was the everything. I was the executive director, the development director, the program manager, the janitor, the everything, right? And so it's very difficult to really be out there, and you got to try to be out there in the public face, right? And so again, it just depends on the size and the status or place of the organization. Now that we're bigger and I have a team of wonderful people that can do all those things, and I can get out there now and have more opportunities to speak on panels and share and meet funders and get our brand out there. We were the best kept secret for 30 years. 30 years, because we just didn't have the capacity to do this. And so now we've grown 6-fold, because I've been able to grow it to such a place to whereas I can get out there and know that the roof is still going to be on the house when I get home.